Thank you for staying with us. All political parties and stakeholders of the Bayelsa State gubernatorial elections are expected to sign a peace accord later today. And this is according to the National Peace Committee, NPC. The aim is to secure the commitment from all parties involved to a peaceful, transparent, and equitable electoral process. The peace accord is also a way of ensuring that residents live lives and not put at risk on the election day proper and the days after. Joining us in the studio is former Secretary General, Ijo Youth Council, Alfred Kemepadu. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Now, this matter of peace accord signing, or peace pact, so to speak, we saw what happened in Imo yesterday. In fact, they just had to disperse, so to speak, and we are hoping that perhaps that of Bayelsa would be different, because this state is also one of those states that has been described as having a volatile nature, so to speak, and we see the giants, some call them, that are, gunning for that seat as it is. A former governor, an incumbent governor as well. But what do you see with regards to the signing of the Peace Pact? Is it even important, seeing that there is no legal backing with regards to it?
Yeah, the signing of Peace Pact is important, but it would have been more important if the stakeholders, the parties to that accord, were sincere. But over time, it seems it's just one paperwork, and sincerity of the parties is not deployed to that pact. So it's really not...
When you say sincerity, how do you mean?
After the peace pact that have been signed over the years, what has always happened? You still get the pockets of violence, loss of life, and all that stuff. So when I say sincerity, I think, what I mean is political actors should hold dear the sanctity of life. Like Goodluck Jonathan would say, no ambition is worth anybody's blood. But at the moment, it's still like a do-or-die affair. And that's why we call on the institutions of state, such as the security agencies, to bring to book people who are culpable of this event. Because from experience, I can confirm to you that it's not true that security agencies do not know those who are responsible for the instigation of these forms of violence. Whether you call them politicians, talks of politicians, however you want to describe them, I'm very confident that the security agencies are too sophisticated, too intelligent not to know. But the will, the question of how much will has been deployed, to tame that, it's not the question. But under a new president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and we hope that that will be given more attention to, and we can have a better democratic system. You see, democracy should be about, maybe I should describe it should be about like your ATM. You put in your card, you withdraw what you have. People should just go there, cast their votes, and go, and not some group of people under the guise of politicians masterminding violence and taking lives and properties, especially lives, because for properties you can get back. But for lives, anyone that is gone is gone.
It's gone.
So, and people we should encourage our system to get to the extent where, if people don't want you, go and sleep now. It's not by force. There are other things to do with your life. After all, even if you get elected, after 4 years or after 8 years maximum, you move on to other things now. So there will always be other things for you to do. You see, this is saddening because I don't know how much we can talk to the political class and those responsible to ensure that this is done. Because you see, when you hear that someone is dead or is amputated You know, from a distance, in your ears, it sounds like statistics. 21 soldiers died in Niger State. Statistics, Abi. 3 people were killed. If you are not careful, you even say, thank God. This time, it wasn't much. It's 3 people. But you see, until we get to the point where the Inspector General of the Police, the Director General of the DSS, the Chief of Defense Staff, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the country comes back home and reasons that, okay, let me first assume. Just close your eye for a minute
breadwinners.
and assume, not just by bread, first assume that, okay, that person, you understand, who has been declared dead, is that your son? Or that's your daughter? Or that's your husband? Or that's your, because ladies are also affected, or that's your wife. Just close your eye for a bit and get that assumption. You see, I can feel people even jumping up from their, from the comfort of their rooms as I'm saying this to say, God forbid, it's not my. So when you get to that, God forbid, you just know that that's what the casualty of that.
That's how
The families.
real.
Yeah, that's how I really get.
It is.
It's not statistics. It is not statistics. It's human life going.
And that is why some people also question the timing of the peace agreement. For example, it's usually few days to the election, and a lot has happened. It appears that, or what do you think? Maybe we need to, backpedal a bit, because election campaigns have since started. A lot has happened. Permutations about possible insecurity has already been circulating in Bayelsa State, in the Niger Delta region, for example. And so what happens to the lives that have been lost?
For example, just to buttress what you're even saying, yesterday, 2 days ago, in the case of Bayelsa, a chieftain of the APC, whose name is Diakivie Ikiwa, Chief Diakivie Ikiwa, decamped from the APC to the PDP for whatever reason, okay? Because I don't want to sound political. I just want to address the sanctity of life. Sure. And yesterday, dynamites were thrown in his house. 2 people were shot around Opolo. So what you're saying is that it's not just about the peace accord. Why don't we address the whole process of election? Which could be the last 1 month, which should have been the last 1 month, the last 1 year, or even the last 4 years. Okay? So we say this in view of the next 4 years. You get what I'm trying to say? You see, there is this movie, Gladiator, okay, when the Emperor Maximus, one of what he said was about that Rome is not what he thought Rome should be. But now that he's departing Rome, he wants to transit Rome to a general that is not corrupt. But even if the general didn't see it, can we not get to the point where today's political actors can come together, stakeholders, security and non-security, and say, okay, we are meeting a system, be it electoral or otherwise, that is not the kind of system that we desire for ourselves and for our children. Okay, this is what we have inherited. Why don't we, okay, bequeath a much more decent system, okay? You see, this is not far from what late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua said, okay, after his inauguration, that the process that brought him is not a process that is perfect. He's not even proud of. But he was in the process of doing, not just walking the not just talking, but walking the talk to see how we can have a better system. So, you see, it saddens me, especially in the Niger Delta. You know, and when it comes to the issues of the Niger Delta, I speak authoritatively because I'm a practitioner. I'm there, academically and practically. Elections like this, when they come, it gets me saddened because just some days ago, let me just deviate to say this because it's important for national security. Just a few days ago, former Chief of Army Staff, Buratai, in his public commentaries, he accused the political class for the violence that we're experiencing in the country. That commentary is not distant of what late General Azazi said some years ago. Now, don't take that away. Bring it down to today's conversation. It is that the political class, okay, I don't know if it's for the purpose of the media, I should say, allegedly funds thuggery.
Yes, please use allegedly.
That's why I've used allegedly.
Yes.
Yeah, you see, allegedly funds thuggery. They buy these arms and ammunitions and other weapons for the thugs, for the sake of politics, allegedly. But see, if that is true, the next question is, beyond politics, just like it will be in the next 3 days in Bayelsa, the question is, where are these arms and ammunition? They now become the remnants, and they now become the tools for political thugs to prosper the enterprise in kidnapping, armed robbery, sea piracy, as in the case of
even
the Niger
beyond
Delta,
elections.
vandalization of federal assets, including oil bunkering, which does not tie into the mandates of Mr. President as of today, who wants an upward production of oil in the Niger Delta. Beyond that, security agents, you call it the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the police, DSS, they now become victims of these guns and weapons in the region. Okay? So it is not just about elections. So the security agencies, while you are pointing at the politicians, you are also guilty because you have your various security reports from the communities and other places telling you that this is what is going on. For the sake of politics, and probably because you want to take side, you turn a blind eye. Then you now complain later that these components are being sponsored by politicians. So everybody is involved. And like you rightly asked, it is not about the peace accord today. It's about the whole hog of the process. Okay? As I speak to you today, we have been talking. Arms are getting into Bayelsa. They are in the areas of Opunembio, Basambrio. They may be exported to Brasso. They may be exported to Southern Ijo. They may be exported to Obiao. Even as I'm talking to you now, I'm calling names of places. So 200 horsepower boats are being hired. Though. They are being moved from Delta State into Bayelsa State.
Do you know who is hiring this? Who are those behind this? Because these are weighty allegations.
Okay, excuse me.
Because this is the media and there are people watching.
Now I'm saying 200, now look at it now. 200 horsepower boats are being hired, okay? Irrespective of who is hiring it. Watch it and intercept it. You will see who has hired it and is taking it. I'm giving you the information now. They will come through the Letugbene Bilabre axis and other axes into Bayelsa. I'm giving you information. Even if I'm the one, I'm giving the whole world information.
But most importantly, what is the level of your interaction? This is the terrain that you have mastered, that is your home. But in terms of the police, the security agencies, what is the level of your interaction with them about your fears?
Now, between you and I, if I can say this here, you should understand that we have said more even behind. Okay? So what I'm not here to accuse anybody. I'm only saying, please, let's take everything.
In your interaction, right?